The sun had long bowed to the horizon, its final light swallowed by the night. The sky now burned deep crimson and molten gold, as though warning of the blood yet to spill. A silhouette emerged, Ajanaku standing at the edge of the sacred path, iron staff clenched, eyes fierce with purpose. He had come from the shrine of Sàngó, marked by thunder, blessed by flame. The fire did not consume him, it chose him. With steady steps, he entered the blackness of the evil forest, headed for Oyo-Ile, to walk the path the gods had carved. He did not know, he could not know, that what awaited him would burn more than flesh. But back at Oyo-Ile and in Ajanaku's absence, danger looms. The ground trembles beneath the boots of Dahomey warriors, armored in obsidian-dyed leather, eyes sharp with conquest in their hands. Razor spears, crescent blades, and rifles gifts from foreign traders. Their king had sent them for one purpose, seize the Pa'ase and break Oyo's reign. They gathered like a swarm at the empire's borders, disciplined, ruthless, loyal unto death. What is Oyo's fate with Ajanaku missing was the assault plan. Why now, in Ajanaku's absence? The drums of war echoed across the savannah. The soldiers of the mighty Oyo Empire had mobilized. Their bronze helmets gleamed under the rising sun, their spears raised in silent defiance. Though the fearless warrior Ajanaku was nowhere to be found, they pressed forward, determined, unwavering. The air was thick with tension, for the enemy was near. Dahomey's forces, ruthless and relentless, marched with hunger in their eyes. And beyond the bloodshed lay a secret too sacred to fall the opus ace. If the Dahomey breached its gates, if they laid hands on the sacred seal, then may the gods have mercy, for it would mark the fall of Oyo, the end of an empire. And so, with courage in their hearts and the ancestors watching, they prepared to defend their world or die with it. And with that resolve, and under the sacred tutelage of Balagan, the last of the Empire's warrior sages, the scene was set. Steel would meet steel, blood would kiss the earth. And the fate of Oyo would be written on the battlefield. But back in the depth of evil forest, Ajanaku will face a battle of his own. The trees closed in like prison walls, branches twisted into claws, roots coiled like snakes. A noxious mist crawled across the forest floor, whispering the names of the dead in a tongue older than the gods. Eyes flickered in the dark. Whispers echoed from forgotten graves. And then it came, a rumble, a snort, deep, wet, monstrous. The forest stopped breathing. Charging from the mist, a bull with 3 heads, each horn sharpened by ancient hatred, its breath rot, its hooves thunder. It charges towards him with one purpose, destruction. The beast of broken trials. It struck Ajanaku, flung him into a tree. Blood spilled. His staff cracked but did not break. He rose. Sàngó's fire surged, and Ogun's spirit filled his limbs. He roared, and the forest shook. A brutal war began. Flesh tore, bone shattered. Flames erupted. Ajanaku saw through the beast. He stroked the spirit that embodied the beast. The beast died screaming, and the forest fell silent, for now. Unbeknownst to Ajanaku, he had a companion, silent but powerful, and watching from the shadows of the spirit world. Ajay, the golden-eyed witch, was with him in spirit. From the sanctity of her sanctuary, she felt the first battle. Back at Oyo-Ile, the situation reached boiling point. The general on each side stood agile and gave command with a single war cry. The assault began. Iron clashed, the gates screamed, Oyo's warriors fought valiantly. Swords clashed, shields shattered. The earth trembled beneath a sky darkened by smoke and omen. Charms and dark forces were employed. The Dahomey war priests called upon ancient spirits. Oyo's shamans, desperate, drew lines in the sand and spoke forgotten tongues. The air crackled with incantations. The supernatural met with sheer human brute. Steel met spell. Muscle met mystery. What should have been a battle of men became a war of worlds. Some fell to blades, others to curses, and as the chaos surged, the line between magic and flesh blurred into blood and dust. In the absence of Ajanaku, Oyo's soldiers were no match for the Dahomey warriors. They fought valiantly, but were cut down like yam in harvest. As the battle rages on, Balogan lay in Ogun, and the Dahomey warlord found themselves face to face. Did battle to the death, the gods bore witness to the bravery of men. Channeling the ancient power of Obatala, the Dahomey warlord summoned the gods. His body trembled with divine rage, his eyes white with possession. Each step he took stirred the dust of the ancestors, and then with one final, devastating blow from his sword, Oyos Balogun was decapitated. Seeing the demise of the Balogun, Akogun fled the battlefield for the palace. "We must go now, Kabiesi," he said to the king. "The city will not hold. If they take the staff, the gods may turn their backs on us." They vanished into the shadows, pursued by screams and steel. The king's mood turned sour, his heart weary. He wondered, why has the gods forsaken him? Back at the evil forest, Ajanaku's heart felt heavy. Despite his triumph over the three-headed bull, a weight lingered. It was as if his intuition stirred, whispering of a darkness unfolding at Oyo-Ile. Victory tasted bitter, his spirit was uneasy, then suddenly, near the spiritual veil, the mist split, revealing a figure in black. Skin like ash, eyes like empty sockets. In one hand, a blade pulsing with death, in the other, emptiness. From the depth of the dark shadows, he emerges, the myth, the legend, the beginning of the end. Iku, the angel of death. He said nothing, he only raised his hand and beckoned. The duel was instant. Ajanaku struck fast, fierce. He landed the first blow. Iku laughed at him. It was his turn to strike. But then the forbidden dagger emerged. Ajanaku staggered, the blade neared his throat. Ajanaku struck again, fast, fierce, divine. He overpowered Iku, slamming him into the roots of the world. He lets off a huge scream in defeat. Fire fell from the heavens, the blade shattered. The voice of Sàngó rumbled in the clouds. "You will not cheat the worthy." Ajanaku rose, staff glowing white-hot, but Iku was gone. Yet again, the spiritual realm stirred. Where mortal eyes failed to see, the veils between worlds parted, and from the shimmering haze, the blind seer emerged beside him, his spiritual guide. Together, they had watched in awe from the edge of the unseen. Back at Oyo-Ile, the final temple had fallen. Ash rained from the heavens like a cursed blessing, coating the broken statues of the Orisha, now lying shattered across the palace courtyard. Blood streaked the marbled floors royal, and common alike indistinguishable in death. From the smoldering crypt beneath the Oba's throne, a triumphant cry erupted. They had found it, the the staff of command, the pillar of Oyo's divine right, the breath of her god. A lone Dahomey general, his face painted with the sigils of war, emerged from the smoke astride a black stallion. In his grasp, held high for all to see, was the sacred staff, still pulsing with ancestral energy, defiant even in capture. The soldiers around him erupted in chants of victory. Trumpets blared, drums thundered like distant gods mourning. And with a savage grin, the general turned his horse toward the west. He did not gallop, he paraded. As flames swallowed the last of Oyo's walls, he rode away, the P raised like a banner, a symbol of conquest and the beginning. Of the end in triumph, the Dahomey army departed Oyo-Ile. Ajanaku reached the gates of Oyo, or what was left of them. Scorched walls, ash-filled air, the empire reduced to a carcass. Ajanaku fell to his knees. The wind stopped. The sky darkened. His fists clenched. His eyes burned, not with tears, but with flame. And from his chest rose a roar, a cry not of sorrow, but of purpose. The fire had returned, and this time it would burn the enemies of Oyo.